It has been a crazy year, to say the least. We've all started wearing masks, our lives have changed, and with the exception of some idiots, we have persevered. And even though we've persevered, the stress can get to us. And in an urban world filled with technology, we need a break. In this video, I'm going to be showing you where you can find that escape, where you can find that peace. It's in state parks. And I will be evaluating each park so that you can find the park that's best for you. Each of the parks will be judged on 5 points, or trees, of criteria. Land is, for the most part, undisturbed. Has there been minimal change by man while establishing the park? Features of the park. Is it more than just a trail? Land is peaceful. No highways or other urban distractions. Size of the park. Is there more than one trail, and does the park have a lot of land? And finally, easy to navigate. Can people of all ages and conditions make it through the park safely? The highest score a park can receive is 5 trees. These scores are not meant to diminish any of the park's values, but to instead help people find the best park for themselves based off of their personal preferences and individual needs. Please enjoy Missourian Parks. The first park in our video is Mastodon State Park. Mastodon is located in Imperial, Missouri, off of Highway 55. As the name implies, this park was once home to the enormous prehistoric creatures that roamed our planet almost 11,000 years ago. The land was settled in 1976 by 4 women: Dorothy Hines, Marilyn King, who is shown in this picture, Hazel Lee, and Rita Nays. These 4 women formed the Mastodon Park Committee, the group that shepherded the entire project. Mastodon was later reclassified as a state park in the 1990s. Since then, it has received many visitors interested in both its trails and its history. Perhaps its most significant moment in history was in May 1979, when Illinois researchers discovered a Clovis spear point, a distinctively shaped ancient projectile that was directly associated with mastodon bones. Until that point, there had been no evidence for coexistence of both humans and mastodons. The excavation is now considered the first undisputed evidence of coexistence in all of North America. I visited the park with my family, who was very excited to join me on my state park project. We brought our 2 dogs and we took the Limestone Trail. We had an amazing time, and I really recommend bringing your family, and if you have any, I recommend bringing your dogs to the state park. We had a wonderful time. Now for the first ranking. For land being mostly undisturbed, Mastodon receives a 1 out of 1. For features, Mastodon receives another 1 out of 1. With its rivers, hillside views, and prehistoric vine. Mastodon receives a 0.5 out of 1 for its peacefulness, with one of the park's edges bordering a road that becomes busy, as well as noises of the highway reaching the edge of the park. Mastodon receives another 1 out of 1 for its size. With 3 different trails, the park offers a variety of activity. Finally, Mastodon receives a 0.75 out of 1 for its easiness to navigate. While steep hills wasn't an issue, roots and stones pose a potential tripping threat for some individuals. Overall, the park receives a 4.25 out of 5. Welcome to Castlewood State Park, founded in 1974. I've been coming to this park, my friends, for a while now, and now I'm here to take you with me. Let's roll. In this video, I'll be taking the River Scene Trail, which is only one of the 8 different trails that the park offers. Besides the trails, the park also offers fishing in the Merrimack River, picnicking, as well as playgrounds for all of its guests. Last year, Castlewood State Park received over 780,000 visitors. Castlewood was formed when the citizen conservation group, known as the Open Space Council of St. Louis, helped the state acquire the land. Even before then, many people were coming to Castlewood. Before World War II, many people visited the land to celebrate the 4th of July. The most common method of transportation until the 1940s was by train. Many of these people boarded at Union Station and traveled west to Castlewood. The park also features 3 main landmarks: the bluffs that overlook the Merrimack River itself, and the Grand Staircase, a concrete staircase that took people from the Castlewood Depot all the way to a nearby hotel seasonal cabins, and a variety of clubs that were located at the top of the bluff. Although the wooden staircase is now the sole method of going from the bluffs to the river below, it was never meant to be a replacement for the grand staircase. It was only meant to provide a safer method of transportation and to prevent park visitors from trespassing onto private property nearby. Castlewood is very unique in the sense that it remains a mostly undeveloped piece of land while being located in the center of suburban development. Despite its location, Castlewood serves to provide a safe haven to both wildlife and people alike. People come from all over to visit the park, and many for different reasons. Some yearn to stand atop the bluff overlooking the Merrimack River. Others appreciate being able to get away from the noise and chaos of the city. Some may even try imagining how the land might have been prior to European settlement in the area. Some visitors to the park can even recall their parents or grandparents owning a cabin on the bluff and reminisce the fond memories of summer visits with family. In recent years, the park has been working to maintain its health and beauty as it combats invasive plant species. The main threat has been the bush honeysuckle, an invasive plant species from Eastern Asia that is a problem statewide. While the invasion has proved that it will be an enduring battle, the park has taken measures to combat the attack through volunteer days. Other areas of the park have been closed off to heal after being used as unofficial trails. Now for the ranking. For the land being undisturbed, Castlewood receives a .75 out of 1. While much of the land was undisturbed, there were larger exceptions like the tracks and the train that regularly runs through. For features, Castlewood receives a 1 out of 1. The park had much more than just a trail with its high bluff, beautiful view of the Merrimack, and grand staircase that is still visible. The park receives a .75 out of 1 for being peaceful. When the train comes through, it does create a great amount of noise. Suburban neighborhoods can also be spotted from certain areas of the park. Castlewood receives another 1 out of 1 for its size. With 8 hiking trails as well as playgrounds and picnic areas, this park has room for many. Finally, for easy to navigate, the park receives a .75 out of 1. While the park offers many paths that are easy to cross, there are steeper elevations that may prove difficult to certain individuals. Overall, Castlewood receives a 4.25 out of 5. Finally, we're brought to Elephant Rocks, a park for the more ambitious of St. Louis drivers. It's easy to see where this park got its name, as it is home to rocks quite literally the size of elephants. I sat down with Brick Autry, an interpreter for Missouri State Parks, to talk about the park.
My name is Brick Autry, and I'm an interpreter for Missouri State Parks. I also do the interpretation work for nearby Battle of Pilot Knob State Historic Site down in Pilot Knob, 4 miles south. I've been here for quite a while. I've been here for over 25 years now.
Wow, what's an interpreter?
An interpreter is like a guide, and we tell you all sort of things about what you're seeing here at Elephant Rocks. I get battlefield tours up at Fort Davidson.
Oh, wow.
And get a question and answer man, reference person, guide.
Nice.
Somebody to help you enjoy and learn about the area.
Since glaciers never reached this far down into the United States, these rocks were never transported from another location. Instead, they were formed from volcanoes right where they stand today. Mr. Autry spoke more about the topic.
This whole area here, stretching from, Florissant up in St. Louis, down from that area, all the way down 60 miles south of us, is a special part of the southeast Missouri Ozarks called the St. Francis Mountains. And at one time, many hundreds of millions of years ago, it was a volcanic area. It was situated by a tropical ocean. And of course, even today, our coastal areas are seismically unstable. Mm-hmm. And it was like that again, 3 billion years ago. And it went through a period of vigorous volcanic activity, so that the lava and the resulting volcanoes and things were almost as big as the Cascades are today. So this area was, thousands of feet high. It was all volcanic. It then began to erode, and over the hundreds of millions of years, it broke away from its main continent, floated around, became underwater. These were islands in the South Sea lagoon one time. Then they were completely submerged, only to come up with the Rocky Mountain building stage 250 million years ago.
Elephant Rock State Park is also one of the few state parks that features a braille trail, a way for those visually impaired to enjoy the park. The park features multiple braille boards as well as ropes that help guide visitors. Mr. Autry elaborates on how this braille trail came to be.
It was a pretty good idea. Elephant Rock started out mostly as a quarry advertisement. Back north of us is a ledge of pure red granite, and they started putting this granite in quarries, to take them out. And about 1871, that continued until the 1970s. Went up for sale this city. These rocks here weren't quarried; they were too brittle. So it was used as sort of an advertisement. Come and look at the funny rocks, and look at our pink granite products while you're here.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So it was purchased by the retired state geologist. He then turned around to state parks. He was interested in making it into a park. So they said, well, just like most parks, we'll make it into a little trail.
Oh, that's cool.
And then someone said, well, this would be a perfect area for someone who's visually handicapped. They can feel the rocks, they can feel the gravel, they can feel, the indentions where they have found the quarry markings, and the work stuff. And so we'll just have a little braille explanation along with all the rest of the interpretation.
Now for the final ranking. Elephant Rock scores a 1 out of 1 for the land not being disturbed. The entirety of the park was built around the rocks, so as not to harm them. For features, Elephant Rock scores another 1 out of 1, with its rocks, rail trail, ruins, and playgrounds. For peacefulness, Elephant Rock scores yet another 1 out of 1. The road bordering the park isn't too busy, and many spaces of privacy can be found in the rocks. Elephant Rocks scores a 0.75 out of 1 for its size. While it is beautiful, it is relatively small for a state park. Finally, for easiness to navigate, Elephant Rocks scores another 1 out of 1. With additions like the Braille Trail and steps to get to the larger rocks, this park is very accessible to many people. Overall, the park receives a 4.75 out of 5. Thank you for watching Missourian Parks. I hope that you found this both entertaining and beneficial. Please consider visiting a state park in your area or one farther away. The world is waiting for you, so have a wonderful and peaceful day.